What's good, everyone? It's 23MJ88 back with another video today. And for today's video, we're going to take a look at the performance review of the Jordan Zoom Separate. All right, so just a quick few details on the Jordan Zoom Separate. As you can see, it says Air right here and dual density. And then on the heel, you have a Jumpman with Nike Air and inspired by greatness on the heel. And then it says Jordan brand performance right along the middle here. And then just on the toe box right here, it does say Jordan. And then on the tongue, there is a Jumpman. And then on the bottom of the shoe, it does have a Jumpman in the middle as well. So as far as the traction goes on the Jordan Zoom Separate, as you can see, it's kind of a radial pattern here in the forefoot, and then more of like a herringbone pattern here in the heel. And as far as the traction pattern goes, it's pretty shallow, and I would say it's kind of like semi-firm, but as far as it goes on court, this traction is awesome. I really had no issues, minimal wiping, and this traction really reminded me of the Kobe 9 traction. It screeched super loud, a super hard bite, and it just performed great on basically any court. So as far as the traction goes on the Jordan Zoom Separate, I would have to give this a 9.5 out of 10 because I had really no issues at all. And the durability seems to be fine as well, as there's really no wear areas on the outsole of the Jordan Zoom Separate. And I've played in these about 14 hours so far, and I would say this is one of the key components of this shoe. And then just another thing really quickly on this outsole is on the medial side, this traction pattern does wrap up the side of the shoe, which is very reminiscent of the Kyrie models out there. So again, I think Jordan Brand put a lot of thought into this outsole, especially on this medial side. So if you're really kind of dragging your foot, you're not going to lose that traction. All right, so as far as the cushion goes on the Jordan Zoom Separate, in the heel you have some foam. It is a Phylon, but it's super squishy and just really plush. I was surprised there's not an airbag in there because it hasn't lost any of that really squishiness. And then in the forefoot, you do have a rectangle Zoom airbag. So it's basically right where this red portion of the outsole is. It's a rectangle bag, and it does protrude ever so slightly. It doesn't teeter like the Jordan 36, but you can definitely notice it, and it's very, very soft in the forefoot. So if you do play on your forefoot, I think you're really gonna enjoy this setup. But for me, I really enjoyed this setup altogether because I think these were 145 Canadian and I think around 110 American. And for the budget setup that you're getting, I find it to be really nice because that Phylon is super squishy and it just has great heel to toe transition because it's very natural feeling in the heel. And then along the forefoot, you do have that Zoom airbag, which for me, being around 205, 210 pounds, I really noticed it right out of the box. So as far as the cushion goes on the Jordan Zoom Separate, I would have to give it a really solid 8.5 out of 10 because for a budget model, I think you're getting a great cushion setup. So as far as the materials go on the Jordan Zoom Separate, as you can see here on the back, it's like a screen mesh. And then coming along the midfoot, some more of that screen mesh. And then right up the tongue, and it kind of goes right down the side on the lateral side and the medial side. It is kind of like a neoprene tongue, right down to the midfoot. And then the toe is actually a mesh, but it's super flexible and it really flexes with your foot. So as far as the materials go on this shoe, I really enjoyed them. There's really no break-in time needed with these, which is nice because you can really just throw these on and just go and play and not have any pinch points or anything. I really had no issue with that. So as far as the materials go, yes, they're a bit cheaper, but they really do the job well. And I really enjoyed the Zoom Separates materials, cushion, and traction. I think this is a great budget model, but it's just a great shoe overall, regardless of the price point. So as far as the materials go on the Jordan Zoom Separate, I would have to give them an 8 out of 10. So as far as the weight for the Jordan Zoom Separate, in my US size 10.5, these do come in at 14.15 ounces. So I would say this shoe is rather on the light side. So as far as the sizing goes on the Jordan Zoom Separate, I went with a 10.5 and my toe is literally touching the very end of the shoe. If it was any other material in the forefoot, I would have to say that I don't think I could get away with that. But this mesh here does stretch a lot. So while I was playing on court, I did feel the end of the shoe, but it wasn't bothersome to the point where they felt too short. But I would say try these on, because if you're a wide footer, you might need to go up half a size. Or if you like that width, thumb width in the forefoot, I would say go up half a size right from the get-go. But for me, I like my toe as far as to the end of the shoe as possible, just for that one-to-one fit. And it was really no different with these. So again, I would say go up half a size, or if you could just try them on, order 2 pairs, you're true to size, and a size up from that. Or if they have them in store, I think these are pretty much available anywhere right now. I would say do that. So as far as the fit goes, I would have to give these a pretty solid 8 out of 10. There was really no pinch points right off the bat, and I really enjoyed that neoprene tongue. That offered a really nice fit right out of the box as well. So like I said, for the Jordan Zoom Separate, I would have to give them an 8 out of 10. So as far as the support for the Jordan Zoom Separate, in the heel, you do have this plastic external heel counter, as you can see here, and it's super firm and rigid. It really doesn't move at all. So it really keeps your heel cupped in the back of the shoe. And then in the bottom of the shoe, you do have this TPU shank plate, which really offers great torsional rigidity. As you can see here, the shoe really doesn't flex very much. And then the bottom of the shoe has a really wide and stable base, especially in this forefoot. It does flare out a little bit here, as you can see. So it does offer a really stable base, and it actually is an outrigger, as you can see here. So as far as the support goes, I would have to give these a very solid 9 out of 10. Coming in at a low top shoe, but just having that external heel counter, that midfoot shank, and the really wide and stable base, I really had no issues. And another thing to note as well on the Jordan Zoom Separate is you do have these extra eyelets here, so you can kind of customize your fit. On the top eyelet, I went with the one furthest back to really pull the top of the shoe in around my ankle. And as far as the support goes, I really enjoyed this setup. So I don't think you can go wrong with the support setup on the Jordan Zoom Separate. So one thing a lot of people have been asking me to add to my videos is, can I recommend this shoe outdoors? And as far as the cushion and support and materials, I would say that they would be great outdoors. But the one thing that I would be a little bit concerned about, especially how shallow this traction pattern is and how tight it is the durability outdoors. I think if you're playing on concrete, these would wear through pretty quick. But if you're playing on those outdoor tile courts, I think they would be fine. So can I recommend the Jordan Zoom Separate? I think Jordan Brand absolutely knocked it out of the park with these. Not only is Luka Doncic wearing this shoe, but this shoe's traction is fantastic. This traction seems to be really holding up great on any court I'm playing on. The cushion is amazing as well, with that Phylon midsole in the heel and the rectangle Zoom airbag in the forefoot. Amazing support, and it's really a lightweight package. So I think Jordan Brand really knocked these out of the park. I think you're going to be able to get these for $70 or $80 US in the summer once they hit the sales racks. But even at the retail price that they're at right now, I think they're absolutely amazing. But like I said, that's going to do it for today's video. As always, if you guys could like, comment, and subscribe, that helps the channel out a ton. And stick around for the on-court footage at the end of the video of the Jordan Zoom Separate. Until next time, peace.